Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Such as you are. Well, it's good to see you all out there. Greetings and a very good evening from Sherman Oaks, California, where today we are excited about Dodger baseball. Another exciting night for the boys in blue. Let's go, Dodgers! People, let's be honest. We all know that I'm a man of mixed loyalties. It's fair. It's a fair cup. And so, let's see. How are we doing on the Insta? Thawley, Elson, good to see you. Let's get those comments in there, boys. I want to know what you guys think about the Dodgers comeback tonight in Game 2 as the power showed up and the pitching continues to be outstanding for your Dodgers. Oh my goodness, who was expecting 2 back-to-back complete games from Yamamoto? But I love Dave Roberts' thinking here. They can't beat your bullpen if you don't go to the bullpen. Eddie Murphy gif. And he did not have to go to the bullpen tonight, even though I did see Sasaki getting some loose tossing going on in the late hours. I see Emily is in. Hi, Emily. It's good to see you on the stream. So that's a great win for the Dodgers tonight in Toronto, evening up the series. And a lot of people have been asking me, Colin, now how do you feel about this? And when I say a lot of people, I mean America's favorite Phillies fan, Amy Huggins. Colin, what are you rooting for? What is the deal? And I will tell you this, the same thing I tell everyone. I'm rooting for 3 things. Number 1, 7 games. These are my 2 favorite teams. When they're done with this series, baseball season is over. And I want this to go the distance. Number 2, extra innings in the 7th game. Because, oh my God, how great would that be? Extra innings, Game 7 at Rogers Center / Skydome. And we'd see how that goes. Number 3, I want the Blue Jays to win. Don't tell people that out loud. Don't let people know that I'm actually rooting for the Blue Jays. I think just a little bit. I'm happy if the Dodgers win, but I know what that feels like because they just did it last year. And if my American League team could win it this year, and they just kind of trade it back and forth, I'm knocking the camera like a professional, back and forth, that'd be fine. I'm fine with that. I can deal with the disappointment of the Dodgers not repeating because I know they'll still be favorites in 2026. Elson says, was crushed yesterday, but today felt Yamamotivated. Oh, yes, baby. Yes. I think we all felt a little Yamamotivated today. It was good stuff. Boy, he just gives up that 1 run. I would love it to be a complete game shutout. Just the baseball fan in me. Hi, Grandpa Gene. Thank you for joining in. Is that Gino? I can't tell from the photo. Yeah, well, hi. Thanks for joining. I would love for them to be complete game shutouts because I certainly enjoy that. But it was, we'll take the next best thing, which is a complete game win. Bob Franz in with a Rogers Center. Oh, Max Muncy gave him the shush. Max talking a tough game there when it was only 3-1, but it was I think it was Yamamoto to Rogers Center. I mean, my goodness, hear the sound of the silence. And then from Insta, we've got Gene in with 1959 lost the first game 11-0. Second game Dodger win. That's right. So this is definitely a pattern they've gone through before, where the Dodgers can lose the first game bigly and come back to still win a series. They won the 59 series against the White Sox, I believe. The Coliseum World Series. It is Gene Silver. Hi, Gene. How are you, buddy? It's good to see you, friend. I wasn't sure if that was you or not. I just wanted to make sure. I looked at your photo, and your photo looked so young and dashing. I was like, how is that Gene Silver? Just kidding, bud. So yeah, that was a good that was a great model for how the Dodgers can proceed. Now, Game 3, of course, is coming up, and it remains to be seen. It's been getting darker earlier, which is good, I think, in some respects. And then so we will not get that afternoon Dodger Stadium game thing where there's like light over here and sun and shadow over here, and you can't see anything, and it's a disaster, and people don't. I don't enjoy that at Dodger Stadium of all the things. Um, and so I would be happy if the game was played in even light, or perhaps there was a light overcast Monday afternoon at the stadium, which would keep things nice and evenly lit. I'm sure the camera people would appreciate that too. A little technical talk there, but a lot of you are in the industry. Am I wrong? Many of you. And so it turns to a Game 3 now to see who will take the edge in this series. I can see it going only one way. I think the Dodgers are likely to win Game 3. I like their odds against Max Scherzer, and that's because as a Blue Jays fan, I watched Max's pitching this year. I did. Saw many of the games Max pitched. They were fine, but he's good for 4 or 5 runs, I think. I think he'll give up 4 or 5. He could go Supermax mode like he did against Seattle. It's always a possibility. I don't discount it. The man is kind of remarkable, a remarkable pitcher with a remarkable career. It's just tough to count on that happening, back-to-back games. He may be above average, and that still might not be good enough to beat the Dodgers. He may have to be like excellent, 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 no notes, perfect. And if not, that takes us to Game 4. And as you kind of look at how the series plays out, the deviousness of the Dodgers' plan, such as it is, comes into focus, because it don't get any easier in Game 4 when all of a sudden you got a Shohei Ohtani up there doing those things that Shohei do, which usually involves striking out a lot of batters, a lot, and enjoying that part quite a lot, and then hitting homers. Now, no one expects Game 4 for him to get 10 strikeouts and 3 homers again. I think we've all set the minimum bar at 12 and 4, right? That's what we're looking for. Let's see. Alana's in from New York City. Hi, sweetie. That's my beloved sister, Alana. Good to see you. Must have been a much more fun time at the Dodger bar in New York City tonight, the taqueria from which all good Dodger things emanate in the greater New York City area. Kind of got crushed on that last game of the NLCS where it was a free beer for every Ohtani homer. But hopefully they were giving something out for Max Muncy or Will Smith homers tonight. Maybe shots for a Will Smith homer, and I don't know, a Max Muncy homer. How about a nice Chablis? Seems like what Max would have. Just like a nice Chablis, like a bubbly white. I know nothing about wine, if that is not apparent. I know nothing. Great vibes tonight, says Alana. Yeah, at the bar, or at the taqueria. I'm sure it was certainly better. Although you got to remember, this game was tied going to the 7th inning. The final score makes it look a lot worse than it was. It was definitely a very competitive game. Gausman matching Yamamoto pitch for pitch until suddenly he just leaked a fastball out for Smith, and then you got to give Muncy credit for going the other way with that ball that was just trailing away from him, and he just said, "Keep going," to deep left field, which was nice. Let's see. The place went crazy for the Pages single. Yes, Alana, I bet they did. They should be giving out free drinks for Pages hits at this point, and I'm so glad he was finally able to come through. And that kid had a great season. Why? I mean, I know the playoffs are stressful, but the Dodgers have been doing very well. And I would just love to see Andy have a good rest of the series, something to build on for the future of his career. Yeah. Stressful for a good portion, says Alana. Yeah. 7 innings of yikes, or at least 6 plus. And then the Will Smith, the hand is looking a lot better. I think we were all quite frustrated by the unfortunate circumstances of Mr. Smith's hand injury in Pittsburgh. Caught a foul ball off the other hand, his throwing hand, and ended up with a little hairline fracture that he tried to play through, and it didn't quite work out. So he said, all right, I'm going to take most of the rest of the season off. And I'm guessing people right now would be wishing that he had taken all of the rest of the season off. But his hand is apparently doing good. He's hitting over 300 in the playoffs, and that's great for your Dodgers. They can get good production from Will Smith. It's so funny. You always hear, like on all the pre and post game shows on Fox, the Dodgers, they've got these superstar hitters, Ohtani and Betts and Freeman and Mama, and no one ever says Smith. Will Smith's almost, for a good portion of the summer, led the National League in hitting. Will Smith's a very, very, very good professional baseball hitter of baseballs. So, I don't know. Tell me, what do you guys think? Who has to come through for the Blue Jays? Who has to come through for the Dodgers going forward? I think for the Blue Jays, I'd like to see a little more from George Springer, to be honest. I understand we're all still riding high off the Game 7 heroics, but I'd like to see a little more from George. He had a good hit tonight. I think at least one, but he really does kind of set the table for everybody. And then that back half of the Blue Jays roster lineup, whoever's in the 6 through 9, continue to just peck away. They are a feisty little team, those Blue Jays. And I'm trying to remember the exact circumstances of the game I saw, Blue Jays Dodgers, third game of a 3-game series at Dodger Stadium earlier this summer. Elson was there. I think I was there with Elson. And the Blue Jays made a late comeback, just kind of doing what they do, pecking away. And then, somebody hit a big homer and turned out to be pretty good for your Blue Jays. I can look up the details of that game if you wish. Shouldn't be that hard. It's listed right here on the Miracle Everything Machine. Yes, the Everything Machine, the machine we keep in our pockets, which tells us everything. Everything. Let's see. That was the last Dodger game I was at, and it was on August 10th. August 10th. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Blue Jays won that game. Bo Bichette needs to heal his knee. Well, Bo Bichette, does need to heal his knee. In that August game, it was Ernie Clement who had the key late homer. Late trio of Blue Jays homers set the stage for rookie's gutsy save. Oh, my goodness. They beat the Dodgers 5-4 to prevent a sweep. Toronto used 20 players, 12 batters, and 8 pitchers to beat the defending champions in what manager John Schneider described as a back-and-forth hell of a game. And that was just the third game of a 3-game series at Dodger Stadium in August. But the Blue Jays, did really well. And then I don't know if you remember, they were coming off a series in Colorado where they'd scored 45 runs in 3 games, which was crazy. So that's the kind of offense the Blue Jays have. And you saw that last night. And I think let's see. Lana says I have to take the subway, so I'm going to lose you, but I'll try to get back on when I'm uptown. Well, I'll try to keep going until you get uptown. I'll put it that way. If you make the commitment to get off the subway and tune back in, I will make the commitment to keep broadcasting. But yeah, it's that offense. Let's see. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Addison Barger, and then Ernie Clement hit a game-winning homer in the 9th. And they have that kind of power. So you just you can't count them out. And I think one of the things we've seen in these first 2 games has been the strengths of each team. The Dodgers starting pitching is fantastic. The Blue Jays offense can be absolutely stellar. Does good pitching beat good hitting? Tonight it did. We'll see when the Dodgers are throwing, Tyler Glasnow, I think, is a candidate for a Scherzer game. That game could be 10-9, with bullpens coming in the 4th inning. And the appearance of Blake Trinan. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. We did not see Trinan tonight or last night, I don't think, did we? Yeah. Maybe he was in last night. I should look up. I have a machine here that has everything. Says everything, does everything. But yeah, so a very good win for the Dodgers tonight. Again, it's going to be like a solid 25 minutes, Alana says. Maybe I catch you after the next game. That sounds great, sweetie. You take that subway and I'll wrap it up. And then you can always watch the replay on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or any of the platforms. Please feel free to join us. Set your alerts and your alarms and your notifications and likes and subscribes and all that stuff. I can't remember if I have a little graphic up for that, but let me take a look. Maybe I do. Nope, I do not. But I'll make one. Maybe for the next game. Yeah. And we'll see how it goes. What else can we talk about tonight's game? It was good to see, like I said, Will Smith getting hits. Good to see Max Muncy getting hits. Very good. Just a great night for the Dodgers. It's what they wanted to do tonight. Ride the pitching and the power and take it back to LA all tied up. Now, the question becomes, are we coming back to Toronto? Well, the Blue Jays are for sure. Are they going to force the Dodgers to take them with them? Is there going to be a game 6? That I would predict the answer is yes. But I think the Blue Jays' better chance of winning is in game 3 than in game 4, given the Yamamoto, given Ohtani throwing in game 4. Let's see. How many did they score in that first 2 games of the August series? I believe that was 1-1. 1-1. They were shut down, which was very odd, given after scoring only 1 run in each of the first 2 games. It was very odd because they, just destroyed the ball in Colorado completely, and we're seeing everything and hitting everything and whatever. And then LA shut them down for 2 games, 2 and almost 2/3 games, until the Blue Jay bats came alive late in game 3 of that series and salvaged 1 of the 3 games. So, these are evenly matched teams. Is Tanner Scott on the roster? No, I do not believe Tanner Scott is on the actual World Series roster. I think he was left off due to injury, that being the abscess in his butt. He had a butt abscess of some kind, I was told by everyone, as I'm sure you all were told too. And I believe he was left off the roster. They brought in who took his place? Robleski, maybe, is in for him. I'll call up the Dodgers World Series roster real quick here, and we'll take a look at it together. Dodgers World Series roster. Well, let's take a look now. Dodgers World Series 2025 roster. All right, we got Ben Rort vet, who's hanging in there. It was interesting they went with Ben over Dalton Varshin, I thought. But Ben really held down the fort while Will Smith was out at the end of the season, I thought. And so let's take a look here. Klein, yes. Well, we'll get to it. Freddie Freeman at first, Tommy Edmond, Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, Alex Call, who has not seen action yet, Justin Dean, who got in late tonight, Teoscar and Pajes, Kike, of course, getting a lot of playing time, as October Super Kike should, Haesung Kim and Miguel Rojas. Rojas, I'm surprised, has not been playing as much as you would think, but he has not. And then, the Shohei, Glasnow, Snell, Yamamoto quartet, followed by 9 bullpen people. Banda, Jack Dreyer got the assignment for that. Edgardo Henriquez was brought back. He's the guy who throws like 103, and occasionally it's a strike. Clayton Kershaw is on the roster. We could see Clayton Kershaw in the World Series. Will Klein, Roki Sasaki, Emmett Sheehan, Blake Trinan, Justin Robleski. So it's so interesting that, last year, the Dodgers were pretty well uh, all relievers, no starters. And this year, it's completely the opposite. It's all starters and just a couple of relievers who you trust in the circle of trust. We talked a lot about the circle of trust tonight at the house. Are you in the circle of trust? Does Dave Roberts trust you? Does Dave trust you? I hope Dave trusts you. Be sad if Dave didn't trust you. You really got to be in the circle of trust in order to be trusted by Dave Roberts. But if we're seeing, Klein in a game, something has gone wrong. I think, or really right. It could be, 10-1 Dodgers, and they just want to get, save Glasnow or save Ohtani for another go later in the series. Don't know how much we'll see of Jack Dreyer. Probably not that much. Banda is due for a bounce back. He's usually better than he was in game one. And he's going to have to carry the lefty load with the unfortunate news that Alex Vesia is not available. And Robleski, again, maybe he'll get, a little more action. But again, these are like if you categorize A, B, and C, the Dodgers have like 2 A's, I would say, Roki Sasaki and Banda, that you would trust. A couple of B's, maybe Dreyer, maybe Shia, maybe Henriquez, maybe Kershaw, and then Will Klein, Blake Trinan, and Justin Robleski. So you use that bullpen. You tell me how it goes. It's tough bullpen. I can see why Dave likes starters to pitch as long as possible. So I don't know. Is there a non-zero chance that Dave starts Yamamoto in game 3 just to pick things up where he left off? That would be awesome. That will never happen, of course. I know. I just think it's funny. He was quite effective tonight. And, if I'm doing the rotation right in my head, he could be in line for a game 6 in Toronto, right? Because it would be Ohtani in game 4, and then back to your game 1 starter, Blake Snell, for game 5, and game 6 would be Yamamoto. And game 7 would be Ohtani or Glasnow. Glasnow is set to go on Monday, Gene. Looks like we got the same order that the Dodgers used in the series against the Brewers. It was the Jays who have jumbled up their order from the ALCS. In the ALCS, it went Gausman, then the rookie, then Bieber, and then Scherzer. And this time they've gone rookie, Gausman. Game 3, they're going to go Scherzer. And game 4, they're going to go with Bieber. So the Bieber-Ohtani matchup looming large in the future for your Toronto Blue Jays. That is going to be a very critical game for them if they have a hope of winning this series. Assuming that they are, I would say underdogs Monday with Glasnow versus Scherzer. Fair. I think it's fair to say the Blue Jays would be underdogs there. So it's looking good for your Dodgers. They needed a win tonight. They got the win tonight. They got some power tonight. And, of course, world-class pitching from Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who won 3 Cy Youngs and 3 MVP awards in Japan. So no one should be surprised by this. But he has really, really come through big for them in the postseason. And that's been really, really kind of fun to watch. Anybody else want to jump in with a comment, a question, a concern? Please feel free. We're just kind of riffing at this point. I think we covered all the big points. We got a little outlook for the rest of the series. Great game, great win for the Dodgers tonight. Let's see how it goes. Continuing, I think they're definitely still the favorites. But I think people have seen what Toronto can do. And they got to get back to battling and back to basics against Glasnow on Monday, which can be tough with the 5 o'clock start, given the sun situation, but we shall see. Hey, how about that ball Freddie ran under tonight? That was kind of fun. You don't ever see that. That's a pro, you know. And speaking of first base defense, speaking of first base defense, Vladimir Guerrero is a very good defensive first baseman. I hope you guys are enjoying watching him play defense on first base as much as I am, because I am. Oh, there's a button here and I don't know what it does. What happens if I press it? Let's see. Dodgers bounce back. No, nothing really happened. Okay. Gene asks, got a question. Will you refi the house to get a ticket for game 4 or 5? I'm going to take the Fifth Amendment on that one, on the grounds it may serve to incriminate myself. We shall see. We shall see. I can't imagine game 5. My goodness, if that's a potential series victory game for the Dodgers, I bet the ticket prices will be quite large. They have not won a World Series at home in a while, right? Am I wrong about that? Is the last time 63, maybe 65? They won in Minnesota. 81, they won in New York. 88, they won in Oakland. 2020, pandemic. 2024 in New York. And so, yeah, 63 would be the last time. I believe that was the year they swept the Yankees. Always good to get a sweep the Yankees reference in. And I did enjoy people putting the Vladimir Guerrero, David Ortiz moment of Yankees lose has become kind of a meme of sorts. So I'm happy that Vladdy added that to the baseball lexicon. Look, it's a doubleheader of sibling attendance tonight because TV's Morgan Campbell has also joined. Hi, brother. Good to see you out there on the Insta. Feel free to let me know how you felt about the game tonight. In the comments there, we're taking viewer questions, comments, and concerns. Excited. That's 100% attendance for siblings tonight. That's good. 2 siblings and a wife. Hey, and Gene Silver? Come on. Pinch me, I'm dreaming. What am I, Mr. Beast? I'm not Mr. Beast. Morgan says, what's up? Yeah, what's up, Morgan? It's good to see you. Remember what's up? Let's bring that back. Or are we going to get canceled for that? Is that too ethnic? I don't know. I don't want to get canceled for WhatsApp. There are things I'm willing to get canceled for. WhatsApp is not one of them. So definitely not doing it. How did Shohei do tonight? Shohei did fine. I'm sure he was fine. Let's call up a box score here on the Everything Machine, the machine that tells you everything, including the box score of tonight's game. Let's see. Game 1, Koufax, 15 Ks in 1963. Yeah, that's not bad. That'll get it done, huh? Boy, that's Sandy Koufax. Something, huh? Ohtani 1 for 4 tonight with a hit and a run. So, okay. I would say, okay. He's still vulnerable to the outside pitch all of a sudden. I don't know why all of a sudden he's swinging at balls in the right-handed hitter's batter's box, but he is. It happens. Sometimes we all do. What can you do? No, he's working it back together. I think the crazy homer game really helped him out and kind of getting him straight. And it was interesting. I'll be interested to see the report from tomorrow if he ends up taking batting practice on the field at Dodger Stadium, which some people credited as kind of one of the key things, that he almost always, does his batting in the cage, and rarely goes onto the field at Dodger Stadium to take batting practice there. For whatever reason, don't know. I'm not privy to the inside details of that, but he was out on the actual field before the Brewers series and responded with some of the best hitting that he's done in the postseason so far. So one would hope that I understand that correlation is not causation. However, just in case it is, I hope he gets out there for some BP tomorrow afternoon. And here's a question. Maybe some of you listeners are familiar with professional team travel arrangements. Okay, it's 11:30 at night in Toronto. Are the Dodgers flying home tonight? It's about a 6-hour flight, right? 5-hour flight. So if it's 8:30 here, that would get them home at about 1:30 or 2. Get to their own beds tonight, sleep. And then noon report time at the stadium tomorrow for promotional, mandatory, interviews and BP and fielding and whatever you need to do. I don't know. I'm always fascinated by like those behind the scenes videos on YouTube that show like how the clubhouse guys get all the equipment ready, or what it takes to put on an NFL game in Brazil. I'm fascinated by that logistics. They start, planning that 8 months ahead of time. Morgan says, seems like you need the field practice for the visuals. Well, I mean, that's if you're a mortal like you and me. Shohei is from another planet, quite obviously. You know what? He might be from planet Claire. Thank you. A little tribute to the B-52s. I don't know where Shohei is from, but you'd think the visuals would help. Now, also, the Dodgers have a lot of very high-tech systems. Perhaps they have a way of, excuse me while I knock over some hard drives. Perhaps they have a way of simulating the view as well. You never know. There's all kinds of machines now. I don't know. Let's see. Won't Alana know when they fly the team? She might. She does a lot of football. She doesn't do a lot of baseball. But football games tend to, unless they're night football games, they're always done by like 4 or 7 in the evening. How long do the Dodgers have after? There is like a timeline. I'll put it this way: there is a timeline where it's like last pitch starts a timer, and like 75 minutes after last pitch, the bus is leaving for the hotel. So you've got 75 minutes to shower, change your clothes, do your media availabilities in the locker room, do your media availabilities at the main media press table. I'm guessing for the World Series, they take people over to a special room. They don't just there's clubhouse and a separate interview room where they set everybody up. And so, there is like a timer that starts when the last out happens. The clubhouse team is busy gathering all the bats, all the equipment, all the, athletic tape, all the specific things that they bought, getting that all into cases, getting it all back to the airport as quickly as possible. It's good, clean fun. I highly recommend search YouTube for, how to prepare a team for a road game, because it's quite fascinating. I as a lover of logistics, I find it quite interesting. But so I think there's a chance they fly back tonight. And that is, I think, goes with why they have the two planes now. I think the players may fly back. And this is a big deal in Dodger world. They ended up with 2 planes. Morgan says, how do I get that job? A lot of hard work and, quite frankly, washing a lot of jock straps. I mean, if you're interested, they do need people to do athletic laundry. The Dodgers have 2 planes that they lease now or own or whatever, but one plane just for the players that I believe, if I had to guess, I would guess that plane is coming back tonight. And the plane with all of the team officials and trainers and et cetera, will probably be coming back tomorrow morning. This is an educated guess based on past knowledge of how these things have worked. And that plane will probably leave tomorrow morning from Toronto Pearson Airport at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. or some ungodly hour. But that gives them tonight to get everything packed up, get back to the hotel, grab a couple hours, and then fly back to LA. But I bet the players are coming back tonight. Just a hunch. Don't know. And then for the Blue Jays, I don't know when they're flying in. They may have come to the ballpark tonight with all of their stuff packed and ready to go to LA. Not uncommon on a getaway day to show up with all of your things and then fly out directly after the game. Gene says he's sure that's right. So Gene, is a crew going out to cover the Dodgers' arrival at LAX at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m.? That's how we would know for sure maybe make a call to an assignment desk or two and find out. Do some stealth reporting for the stream. Find out if we expect the players back tonight. LAX or Burbank. Yeah, I think they fly to LAX. I think a lot of the players live in like South Bay, I think. Is that a stringer? You're going to just get some stringer video on that, Gene? Oh, come on. Come on. Well, of course, they're not paying overtime for anybody to stay late, I know. That would be awesome, though. It's a good gig if you can get it. What's happening? Well, I'm sitting here at In-N-Out near LAX waiting for the Dodgers. Oh, yeah? What time's their plane get in? 2 a.m. What time is it now? 9. But I'm on the clock, baby. I'm on the clock. If it was the 1990s, that's how it would have worked. But it is not. And so it does not. Yeah, so the teams will get in, and you'll see some footage tomorrow of both teams at Dodger Stadium by mid-afternoon, I'm guessing. It'll be an interesting day of discussion about tonight's game. Gene has fallen asleep at his keyboard and is just typing out random strings of things on Instagram. Stringless, KOL, Channel 7, KOL. I don't know what KOL means. Stringettes. I'm sure you mean stringers. Cal, where I used to work. Maybe. ABC. Yes. They'll send a crew, is what you're saying. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye out. Maybe we can hear from some of our KABC friends and see who's covering that tonight. I bet there are Dodger diehard fans who will be there to greet the team. And do they still do that? Like, do people still go to the airport and like Beatles arriving in LA style, like wave their flags and be very excited and etc.? I mean, they haven't won anything yet. It's just like, yeah, you're home, which I guess is cause for celebration given the current state of air traffic control in America. But yikes. Yeah, it was a good night for the Dodgers. Muncy 1 for 3. Mookie got a walk. Yeah. Freddie 1 for 3 with a run. And then Will Smith with 3 RBIs. 2 for 4. Good job, Will Smith. Teo. Let's talk about Teoscar Hernandez taking the 0 for 4 strikeouts game. That's not good. And then, of course, in the next game, he'll hit like 2 homers because that's just Teo. He's here, he's there, he's every effing where. He's the Roy Kent of the Dodgers. On the Blue Jays side, let's see. Georgie did have a hit tonight, but struck out once, 1 for 3. Nathan Lucas, 1 for 4. Vlad, 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Kirky, 0 for 3. Took a walk and 1 strikeout. Varsho, 0 for 4. Ernie Clement had a base hit, and that was nice. Addison Barger getting the start tonight, 0 for 3, and his replacement, Kiner Falefa. I'm sorry, no, my apologies. Kiner Falefa replacing Bichette. They combined for an 0 for 3. And Jimenez, 0 for 3. So the back part of the lineup tonight for the Blue Jays not setting the table as they did last night. And so when you get those top of the lineup hits from Springer, Lucas, Guerrero Jr., there's no one on base to drive them in. And Yamamoto was just dealing tonight. Morgan says, Mr. October. Yes, Teo. He put the over in October, I guess. 0 for 4. It's October. Let's see. Greetings from Toronto. Wait a minute. No. David Greenspan, are you at the Toronto Blue Jays Los Angeles Dodgers game? Did you view tonight's game, or are you there for other reasons? Going to need more info on that almost immediately, David. Those of you who are friends of the stream may remember David as our long-suffering Mets fan who joined us last year during the Mets eventual loss to the Dodgers. Boy, if he's there, I hope you went to the game. Please confirm whether you were in attendance or not, because That's fantastic, my friend. That's fantastic. And Toronto's a great town. You know, the only time I ever went was on a work-funded vacation. Basically, I had a couple of extra days with Emily there on the front side of some work that I was doing, and it was lovely. We had a great time. It was, I think, late August, early September. It was beautiful, you know. Oh, and Leah's in as well. Leah, not as fun tonight. I'm guessing if you did you go to tonight's game also? I know Leah was there for game 1, and David, I'm hoping you were there for game 2 so that this stream has some personal connections to the activities tonight at Rogers Center. I know I did have one other friend, former boss who was there, traveled out from Los Angeles with his family and had a very good time from all accounts. He was visible on the TV screen for game 1, which was, weird. Leah reports not as fun, and she was there again. Oh, good. Well, you know what? It was not as fun. But sometimes that happens. What can you do? Sometimes you get Yamamoto'd. Leah, how are you feeling about Max Scherzer's chances in game 3? This is what I really want to know from hardcore Jays fans who've watched them all year like I have. My personal opinion has been, I don't know. You could get bad Scherzer quite easily, in which case it would be yikes time. And I think that's probably why they moved Scherzer up to 3 and brought back Bieber in 4. I think they like their chances with Bieber better than Scherzer. And you don't want to get down 3-1 if you're thinking this way. Now, I'm thinking positively. And again, just resetting for those of you who are new or joined, my rooting interest is 7 games, extra innings, and the Blue Jays, because the Dodgers won it more recently. Worried, says Liam, worried about Scherzer. Yeah, well, if he can focus up, and he knows the team, he played with the team. He knows Dodger Stadium, pitched there plenty of times. It could be another night of Scherzer magic, but I think it just as easily could be, 4 innings and 5 runs. And we'll see which Scherzer shows up, and that will tell a big tale about how the rest of the series goes. 2-1 Jays after game 3, and I think you're looking at a real good chance of them winning the World Series. 2-1 Dodgers after game 3 is, I think, what everyone kind of expects. And then game 4 would be very determinative in the outcome if Ohtani is able to match Yamamoto's pitching excellence tonight. If the Blue Jays can get a Cy Young worthy effort from Bieber, then maybe they can make a series of it. But it's definitely a series. I don't want to say make a series. We're already talking about like hypothetical what happens in game 3 and 4. It's definitely a series. And anyone who thought this was just going to be a quickie, nothing. Now let's say the Dodgers win the next 3 games. I'll be eating these words. I don't think they're going to win the next 3 games. I think the Blue Jays have a very good chance to win one of the next, and maybe 2 of the next 3. When you have the offense that they have, you're never out. As we saw in that August series, you're never out of it. You always have the ability to come back. And we'll see. Vladimir Guerrero, I believe, hits pretty well at Dodger Stadium. That's maybe just more of a gut feeling from the times that I've been there. But I think he sees the ball well there and hits very well. It's a battle. Every one of these games is going to be a battle, and it's like tonight, 7 innings, still a battle, and then the Dodgers popped a couple of home runs and it was still close, 3-1. That's nothing for the Blue Jays, but when it got to 5-1, then it was kind of like, oh, well, Sir Anthony, sir, sit down. We're going to bring in the C team of relievers at this point. So we'll see. No need to be worried, Leah. They're in the World Series. You got to be happy about it. You have to embrace the joy. You just, there'll be so many Toronto fans on your way back to LA on the plane with you, and just feel the joy of this team. They've been so fun to watch all year. No matter what happens in games 3, 4, and 5, I still think it's going to be a really good World Series. And that's good for baseball. and good for the Blue Jays in the long run, and hopefully, they're getting a lot of exposure to people who may actually like, their kind of style of baseball, which is gritty, and has been a real joy to watch this year. A lot has been made about how, they were a last place team last year. They didn't feel like a last place team last year. They were coming off back-to-back playoff appearances, and they always seemed like they were right there. I mean, you'd look at their rotation, you'd look at the people they have. I'm getting text questions now from people, but you'd look at what the Blue Jays lineup was, and you'd think that they're close. And then this year, of course, they kind of put it all together. It's great to see the Jays. That's right, Morgan. It is great to see the Jays. I've got my hat right here, ready for if it gets to be worn at the stadium. Do the runs from the All-Star game at Dodger Stadium count towards a person's statistics relating to the stadium? That's a great question. I'm going to say, because the All-Star game is an exhibition, not a competition, no. But if you did want to put together a statistical profile of Vlade hitting, you would have to include his time at Dodger Stadium as an All-Star. Yeah. If you want to say in this stadium, but usually you get most of the stats I see are like lifetime including playoffs, but I'd never see anything that's like lifetime including playoffs and All-Star game. So I think those All-Star game statistics kind of exist in their own little bubble universe of just like All-Star game against All-Star games. You could say he has the most hits in All-Star game history or, whatever, but I don't think they ever count those in that kind of stadium slice. But that's a very great question. Very smart, very astute. That's from McClensley Clamble of Los Angeles, California. Well, McClensley, thank you for letting your father or family letting you stay up late to watch America's favorite silly baseball stream. I may be misreading that. I'm not sure. Yeah. So, we didn't hear back from David Greenspan, as to whether or not he was in Toronto. But if he says greetings from Toronto on a live stream about the Dodgers and Blue Jays, I'm going to say he was at the game. So, Leah, if you're still with us, were you able to get the merch you were hoping to get? Because I think one of the big concerns for people going to games here in Los Angeles will be the inability of modern Major League Baseball marketing to do something as simple as put up a QR code in every merch booth and say, buy all of your World Series stuff here or wait in this 90-minute line. It's up to you. I don't know how that is. I mean, I know they want the sales from the park. I guess maybe the clubs get a cut of merch from the park versus the online, but couldn't you work something out to make it easier for the fans? Look, all I want is a pin. A Dodgers Blue Jays pin. And I keep looking on MLBshop.com, and the MLB shop doesn't even have the game hats that the Blue Jays are wearing. Right? The Blue Jays are wearing their white panel hats with the World Series logo on them. You can't buy that. It's not available. I mean, maybe they have them at the stadium. I don't know, Leah, did you see any there? Yeah, they don't, and given that, merchandising and all of those things are such an important part of the game these days, you'd think they'd have their act together on making sure that they can relieve you of as much of your money as they want to. And yet they still make it hard. It may be, worth it. I mean, let's say you were at the game and there was a 60-minute wait to buy a pin, spend the 60 minutes watching batting practice and get it on eBay later. Don't let the merch get in the way of the game. One fan's opinion. All right. We've had check-ins from Toronto, which is great. I hope after game 3, when we next reconvene, I don't think we're going to do anything tomorrow. If I did one tomorrow, And hit the chat if you would like to see something tomorrow. We'll we'll consider it if there's need or breaking news or something, like if Boba Fett is out for the rest of the series or, something, we would definitely consider a late stream tomorrow. But tomorrow's football day in America. You can have it. It's the World Series. Pretty excited about that. I'm hearing sounds. I think there's some yelling going on outside. There may be a party happening in my neighborhood. Is Dave Roberts a genius or just lucky, says Morgan. Dave Roberts is a freaking lucky genius. A lucky genius. Look, is it better to be lucky or good? It doesn't hurt if you're both. I think he's been a little lucky. Oh, here, let's get an update. Everything okay out there? Is everything okay? Yeah, people are like yelling or something. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for Daphne Campbell joining us on the stream. Daphne.
Hello.
You heard the same thing I heard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, did anyone investigate?
I did, but Mac, you tried stopping me because you're streaming, but twice I've come in here while you're streaming and you don't care.
I really don't care. I think this really livens up the stream when we get a special guest visit. And I'm happy that you're here. Did you enjoy the game tonight?
Yes.
And what'd you think? How do you think the Dodgers look coming home?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, they won.
They did win.
So.
That's true. You are able to correctly identify the winner of tonight's game.
Yeah.
Good.
So
yeah, it was good, clean fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's a good World Series so far. We'll see how it goes.
Also, I just want to say,
please.
We're in the TV.
Oh, here's some family updates. Just for 1 second, people. Let's get some family updates. All right.
Yeah.
You're watching TV.
No, we're watching you.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. We have viewers?
Exactly.
This is not good.
From YouTube, and we're using your YouTube account and watching you on your YouTube channel.
On my own YouTube channel, watching my account.
Yes. We're watching from your account.
From my account.
And this is streaming on your YouTube channel.
All right. All I want to know is who's on first.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yes.
No, the name of the first baseman.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who?
That's all I want to know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Daphne Campbell, a big hand. Love you. All right, make sure that's not you screaming. That would be crazy. Oh, somebody spammed me from Twitch. Well, you'll be banned. You'll be banned. You'll be banned. You'll be banned. So that update on the neighborhood from Daphne Campbell. All right, so maybe we'll hop on tomorrow. But other than that, let's plan on getting back together Monday evening, perhaps. Monday evening? Let's see if I can adjust this. That'll maybe tell me when the next stream is going to be. Barring breaking news, Leah, have a great trip home. I hope you travel safely back to the greater Los Angeles area. The neighborhood will get the screaming fixed before you get here. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was some Blue Jays fans taking tonight's loss extremely poorly. Who can know? Who can know? David Greenspan, if you are there for the game, I'm rooting for you to get back and have fun. I know you're kind of a local Dodger fan, a Met fan forever, but maybe a Dodgers second team? Am I wrong? No, I don't think so. Let's see. We are approaching that time of year, right? The spooky season. Oh, spooky, kids. Look at that. That's spooky. Oh, creepy paper. I like that. That's not bad, right? That we have a spooky font now. Although it's tough to read. The spooky fonts, you're going to have to write a lot shorter. Let's see. Yeah, spooky. That's a very spooky font. There's a new theme that we can use here on the stream. Let's take a look. Let's see what happens. And that does not look like it's working at all. So let's go back to, I'm going to have to reset all this stuff now. There you go. There's that. Boom, man, we're back, baby. We're back. The spooky font didn't really do it for me. The only thing spooky is Blake Trinan coming in from the relief pen. The relief pen. I baseball fan. The bullpen, it called. What am I, Gronk? Okay. We've made it to an hour. Did Alana make it back? Or is she stuck in the subway of New York City somewhere? Alana, if you're out there, please let us know that you made it home safely. Otherwise, I'll contact SVU and we'll get a look after you immediately. Let's see. Okay. I think that's it. Every time I say that, I'm like, well, I could talk for another 10 minutes. I could. More of a threat than an actual content situation. But yeah, so let's wrap it up. A great win for the Dodgers tonight. Unbelievable starting pitcher from Yamamoto, who is writing one of the best postseason stories in recent history with his complete game masteries. Blue Jays got some work to do. They got to keep pecking. They look like they had some stuff happening in the first, but innings 2 through 9, not so much. Yamamoto really had his way with them. And so it'll be interesting to see how the Blue Jays respond when we get to Los Angeles for Game 3 of the 2025 World Series, which is coming your way on Monday night, 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Feel free to get out of work early. Avoid the downtown area starting at about noon, I'm guessing, for traffic issues, etc. And we will see you after Game 3 Monday night. I do want to thank everyone who tuned in. I want to thank you all for commenting. I love that we get people from the venue to stop by after the game and let us know how it went. Leah, David, very much appreciate that. Gino, it was great to see you. Morgan, Alana, thank you for joining. And for all of you out there, I saw a couple other people pop in and out. We just want to say thanks. Very much appreciate the support for this stream, such as it is. It's a World Series only stream this year, but it's been fun. And I look forward to talking with you again on Monday night. So until then, have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you on Monday. Good night.